All right.
There's more people up here than I guess there's up there, but when you guys are done, I'm going to get my mic real quick. You guys are going to turn around and look for your award. It's already named. I will help you sort through it, and then we'll get into the bigger awards. But once again, these guys have made an extremely big influence on the program. All these guys have been major contributors. Everybody here that's right are here probably because they have a sense of pride for what they do, and a sense of pride for the school, and a sense of pride for the sport. And I'm very appreciative. And that's freshmen and seniors. Even missing last year, we had a big thought that last year was going to be our best year, and this year they matched it, and they did great. So, us as coaches, we couldn't be more proud of what they've accomplished. And people like Joyce coming out for the first time also added a little wrinkle to the situation, so it was good. So, I know there's not a lot of you, but throw a round of applause for them. You guys, make sure you give a quick round of applause to your parents and the parents, because if it wasn't for them, you would not be here. So you guys turn around, you should see if you were a 4-year level winner, you are down on this end. If you were second or first year on that end, so kind of work your way around here. So you know where Noah is here. Erica is here. And once you grab your stuff, you just back to the seats real quick. This one is basically an award that represents the track team at a high level, always a positive attitude, always willing to work hard. Somebody that's a joy to be around. The coaches enjoy that person. Not to say we don't enjoy everybody on the team, but they just represented everything about what the program should be, about it being fun, about the work ethic, and it's not always about necessarily talent, but just what energy and attitude you bring to practices and meetings and stuff like that. So our girls' coaches award goes to Audrey Joyce. And then for the most valuable athletes, it's on the boys' side. This is someone that may not necessarily be the most talented on the team, but is somebody that you could take and stick into any event, and they will produce a result, and they won't complain, and they won't do anything that would, I guess, disrespect the coach for asking them to do that. Right? Because in track, there's situations where a distance runner may not want to run a sprint, or sprint may not want to run a distance event. But they'll do it for the relay team, or they'll do it to help the team out, and they'll do it, and they'll do it well. And they bring a good attitude and a good energy. And for the boys' side, that is Noah Coyne. And then the big awards, Andrew, Noah, Erica, and Tim could come up here for one. Come on, you know, you stay there. Figure out where that dry cleaner is. Figure it out. All right, so clearly it's evident this is the group that went down to the state meet for us, and which yes, big round of applause. They both have a separate story. The boys actually initially didn't qualify for the states. And when we were at the regional meet, they were like in utter disbelief that had happened. And in track, as Coach Wright will tell you, that sometimes numbers don't match up to what you think is going to happen, or you put in a fast heat, or it's just cold that day, or you run your best and everyone else ran better. And that just happens. So we were on the bus, and one of the parents had said, well, what about an at-large bid? And at the time, at the start, they were going to eliminate at-large bids for track because of COVID. They didn't want to bring extra people down there if they didn't need to be down there. So we actually thought that wasn't a thing. because they had never updated the coaches that that was a thing. So we looked into it. Coach White actually made a phone call to Columbus, I kid you not. He called down to Columbus and was like, hey, is this a rule or not a rule? And they were like, oh no, actually that is a rule. So the coaches sat for like 15, 20 minutes looking to figure out if they're going to make it. And this whole time, they're miserable. Back, I'm not kidding you, Andrew looked like, I don't know what Andrew looked like, but it wasn't good. I think the back there kind of consoled him a little bit. He still didn't want to have anything to do with me. And then we found out they were going to make it. And they got a second chance. And they got a second chance in the 4x1 and the 4x2. And what's amazing about this group is, I think Coach White would say it better than me, but it's not necessarily that they're extremely talented, but they do everything right. They work hard, they run properly, they listen to Coach when they ask to give them steps, this and that, and relay zones. I don't think they've dropped the baton all year. I could be mistaken, but I don't think they've dropped the baton all year.
Not on me.
So, they did everything that they were supposed to do, and they were with maybe more talented runners if you drop them onto, track and just let them run against each other. But their improvement throughout the year got them down to state meet, which is now 4 for 4 for me, at least me as a head coach. I've gotten to go to the state meet in 4 different variants, jumpers, whatever. So, they've kept the tradition going that, our program, small little program like us, is starting to make noise down at that state meet, which is awesome. And then Erica's story, she knows I'm going to she should by now. She didn't want to run when she was a freshman, and I knew she was fast from watching her play soccer. Talked her into coming out to run track, and she used to fight me about it. And she showed up to the first meet, midway through a meet, at the end of the season, conference meet, and she gets ready to go run. She has no idea what she's doing, and she runs a 100. I'm looking at her, and she is smoking everybody. The thing that was off was she had these black basketball tennis shoes on. And I'm looking at her like, did she just win her heat in tennis shoes? And so she qualified for a conference championship in those tennis shoes, and so we had a girl give her spikes, and she ended up, I don't remember what she placed, but she did well as a freshman at the conference championship. 4 years later, she still has the same shoes. So I told her if she ever got down to the state meet, that she could sign and put them in there if she broke the school record. And she did both. She broke the school record in the 100 and got down to the state meet. So hopefully she still has her shoes, so at some point I can put in the trophy case. The funny running joke was that she never thought she was going to get down there. And this is a girl that didn't really like track, didn't want to do it, and she kind of bought in, especially as she got older, and then she really bought in at the back end of the season. I think Coach White and Coach B would admit to that she really worked on her block work and really worked on just her mechanics, and it paid out. And she did it at a higher level. She did it at Division I level, right? Because the girls were D1 this year, the boys were D2. So she was running against some of the best of the best of the best this year. Once again, a big round of applause for these guys. And the last award actually for these two, that's the most important one, is they both got Academic All-Ohio, Noah and Erica, which is they had a 3.5 GPA, I believe, and made it down to state meet. So, that's probably the most important award that's been given out today, and it's awesome that they were able to achieve that athletic success and academic success. And it's a big, we appreciate that as coaches that they work in the classroom, not in the classroom. So, big round of applause for these guys. Coach White, anything? Coach B, anything?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. It was a very enjoyable season. I was quite pleased being here. This is my first year here. I think most of you know that, at NDCL. And the work ethic, one of the things we as a coaching staff take a lot of pride in. The average high school will have about 48 to 51% improved kids running their PRs for the year. And if you go through our roster, I think we had one who did not. So in other words, we had a 99% improvement. People ran their PRs for the year. And that's, let me just tell you, that's rare. That does not happen very often. So we take a lot, and the one that didn't, we count. So.
Is that true?
Yeah.
We'll not do that. Just talking about it.
And the good news is that there's still so much potential. I've been around track for a long time. From the time I started running, well, let's just say it's been a long time. We'll leave it at that. And I can just see there's so much more. And one of the things, is unfortunately, this being the COVID year, they switched to Western Columbus But if it had been in Columbus, our relay team would have made it on to the finals, because they take 9 teams to the finals, not 8, because it's a 9-lane track. And I promise you, if we'd have gotten to the finals, we'd have beat somebody. We'd have beat somebody. Now, again, as Coach alluded to, are we the most talented? No. But up here, and they do things right. The little, we preached all year long about the little things making a difference. She never got a cell phone in a meeting. Is that yours? No. So anyway, again, thank you, appreciate it, and the best is yet to come. If you really want to be good, let me just, one last parting thing. Indoors. Indoors. Get your butt out. I mean, I tell people like Dan, you know, maybe the most improved person we have on the team, right there. But get involved in indoor track. It pays the way for outdoors. Good indoor seasons, make good outdoor seasons. And I think as a team, you know, Coach mentioned it like the first week. He said, "Wow, we're so far ahead of where we were." And we had a number of you, but not all.
Don't let them fool you. You look at me like, oh, we're in trouble. Like, no, Coach, we're and trust me, I know high school track will be all right.
You know, with competition, we're going to be pretty good. We're going to be pretty good. So I'll just leave it at that.
Do you guys have any questions? I know it's a little bit unorthodox the way we did it, but there's no reason to drag anything out. You guys, understand the key points today. I appreciate for you guys being here, the people that did show up. I understand it's late in the season, because realistically, when we put this out, we weren't even going to do it. I mean, I talked to Mr. DeTore about it, way back in May, because that was when everything was a little bit more strict. And for people that weren't a part of the playoff run, I mean, your season's been done in May, so it's been 2 months. So I also understand that. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys have any questions, you want to come up and talk to the coaches before you guys leave, that's fine. Seniors, if you have not got your banner is up here. You get to take that home with you. And then, outside of that, you guys, I'm going to probably see most of you guys in about, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I know. Too soon. Seniors, I would like you guys to come up and say goodbye, though, before you guys leave, because I may not see you guys for a while. So, capiche? Parents, anything? Good? All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.